Hey, what's up, Facebook? This is your host, Carter, and this is with Nerf Herder Radio. With me tonight is my buddy Jason. We like to talk about stuff. We like to pick the subjects. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. We'll see how tonight goes. But tonight we wanted to talk about a couple things. The latest news from the Captain Marvel camp about Brie Larson fighting toxic masculinity. It's one issue. And then there's some Star Wars stuff we want to get to. And some video game news, and we'll just kind of take it from there. So, Brie Larson comments about how she just, sucker punched toxic masculinity in this deleted scene from Captain Marvel, and I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but I was reading some stories. I haven't watched the scene yet. I don't own the movie. I don't know if it's coming out on the DVD, Blu-ray, or what.
It launched. It came out today.
Okay.
I think it was today.
But the article I'm reading is on USA Today, and it says, Captain Marvel has no patience for skeezy dudes. We'll skip through a lot of the blah, blah, blah. It says, exclusive premiere extended version of the same scene where an interaction gets a little more heated after creepily sticking his nose into Carol's travel business. She offers a handshake, and he introduces himself as the Dawn. However, she uses her energy-filled fist to bring him to his knees. Carol asks for his jacket, helmet, and bike, and in return, I'm going to let you keep your hand. I guess she says that to him. Smartly, he hands his keys over to Carol, and Carol does up more of a sick burn before she departs. What? No smile? She says in a victorious smirk. I don't see the sucker punch, this totally owns a dude, toxic masculinity approach to that scene. Do you?
I mean, I don't know. I need to watch the movie, to be honest with you. In this deleted scene that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The whole toxic masculinity thing, and I know that there was that huge scene in Avengers, which I didn't mind, but I kind of eye roll at it, where I feel like it's sometimes not necessarily forced, but it's like, I know it's almost pandering in a way, where they had all the, I thought it was cool too, though, but like all the female superheroes kind of team up because, Peter Parker had the gauntlet and he was kind of beaten and knocked down. And I looked at it from two different standpoints. So you could go with it and say there's this whole politics and hidden agenda of, we're trying to show that women can do everything men can do and all that stuff, which I don't disagree with, but I don't like that it's forced sometimes. And but I also see it from the standpoint of like this maternal standpoint of, Pepper has a daughter and has a child, and Peter Parker is a teen in that movie, and he's knocked down, and let's protect him, and then take the gauntlet and go the rest of the way with it. So, I kind of just eye roll and move on from some of that stuff. I have daughters, and I don't ever want somebody from the bro society to be very misogynistic towards my kids. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that you see a lot of that in different social circles more than anything. But
sure.
I think there is I don't say initiative, but there is some truth behind some of it. We look at people like Harvey Weinstein and all these other horrible people and stuff that are in the corporate ladders that come from that older I say Ted Turner, not that he is, he might be, I don't know, but that generation of men and stuff, and there was that women's places in the kitchen and this and that, and you don't belong in the work floors and this and so there is some of that there, probably, in that mentality, and I think it does need to be called out and purged and addressed. But I don't think it's, to me personally, from just where I live and what goes on in my life, I don't see it that much. And of course, I'm also a dude, so maybe I won't. But I don't see it as that big of an issue. And I think a lot of times we see media hype things up way more than they're supposed to be because
like this deleted scene. Yeah, absolutely.
That or just whatever else, because it creates news. And what happens is there's it's the subtle art of not giving an F book. He actually has a great blurb about it, and I'll try to share it on the page about it. But he talks about how the media takes a topic that we know for a fact is a hot button topic, and they'll post one stance on it, to stir up the pro side of the issue, but the intent is also to stir up the con side of the issue, and then you create all this fuss and hype and news about it, and what ends up happening is that something can carry on for weeks and months on times. I mean, we see it all the time.
That's how you maintain viewership and clicks.
Exactly.
I get it.
And so there's this huge manipulation about it. So I just really, at the end of the day, I roll about it. I hope that my daughters never have any of those encounters where somebody is, I always say like the frat boy bro society of that, that they have to deal with it. And if they do, I hope that they punch the dude in the face.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got daughters too, and I will never, ever, stymie their ability to do whatever they want to do. If my kids want to become pro football players or, I'm thinking of a super masculine activity, then by all means, I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. I'll move heaven and earth for my children. And the fact that it was acceptable in business for men in positions of power to use sex as an object to, get what they want. Yeah, I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting that people did that, and men that did that should be punished. What I don't like is the I guess the negative side of that being thrown in my face because I'm a guy. Not all guys are assholes. I mean, pardon my French. I mean, believe it or not, but we're not.
Yeah.
There are some guys that are actually, defend women's rights and defend, weak, people in not weakness, but compromising situations. Yeah. Right. Yes, exactly. I mean, what's the alternative here? We're not supposed to open doors for women anymore, or pull at our wife's feet because we don't want to look like we're toxic masculine because that's what we were growing up that men do.
Yeah.
And I also don't like the fact that Marvel and DC play zero role in the comic book side of toxic masculinity. You go back and you look at Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. I mean, Tony Stark was a womanizer to the nth degree. I mean, in the first Iron Man, he's in the Humvee with the girls, with the soldiers, and one talks, "Oh my God, you're a chick! I had no idea." Things like that. And when you first see Romanov in Iron Man 2 show up and kick the crap out of whoever, he's like, "Oh, I want one of those." And then Iron Man 3, he sleeps with the girl who ends up, weaponizing extremists and the reporter and all that. I mean, so come on, don't, if you want to have this change of heart, I get it. But, the comic book companies have to accept some responsibility in this world, especially in their own universe, because you go look at comic book drawings today and you can't find an average looking superhero. They don't exist. They're all, the beach body, if you will, men and women. I mean,
I will say this: there is a great set of comics DC released that are geared towards, young girls, and it's the DC superhero squad, and it's like Batgirl and Supergirl and Wonder Woman and all them, and they're not scantily clad. They're covered up, and it's appropriate because it's, I do think, and a lot of times when kids see that stuff, it sends a message. That's how I should dress in order to be that character, and that's not the case. It's like, you could, in my opinion, you could show up in sweatpants and a t-shirt that's got pizza stains on it, and I wouldn't care what you look like. Can you get the job done for me? And are you that capable? Great. That's awesome. You don't have to look like you've got the suit, the hair, and the body to make that all happen. And I think as a culture and in the world, we are all very shallow because that's how we view things, But I know that, visually, men are stimulated through, visual things more than women are. And so that's how...
Well, now, time out.
Time
out. Now, hold on. Okay, time out real quick. Now, you made that point. Now, let me ask you a question. Were you ever shocked and awed when a woman, just, her eyes fluttered when she saw Chris Hemsworth take his shirt off in Thor? Is that women are women are visually stimulated as well. So that's not just a men's only right.
No, it's not. But from a marketing, it's changed over the years. But I feel like from a marketing standpoint, men were always targeted more visually than women were. Now, of course, when the 50 Shades of Grey era marched into the theaters, especially, that's when it became very much more than normal. Like, okay, dudes can have their shirts off all the time, and of course the women go, ooh. So we went and saw one of the Twilight movies with my wife, and dude takes his shirt off, and everybody's giggling and oohing and cooing in the theater. So it's that's what sells. I get it. I just kind of eye roll about it. I think there's a place for it, obviously, in your life, and it's behind closed doors in your bedroom where it's appropriate. But call me a prude. I don't care.
I am going to critique Captain Marvel. I'm a middle-aged white guy. I'm the one person that she didn't want to hear critique her movie, and I watched it and I saw it in the theaters. I was a good steward of the industry, and my only comment of this movie is I don't think there's enough Ben Mendelsohn in the MCU. And if you don't know who he is, he was the leader of the Skrulls, and he also played Krennic in Rogue One. He was in the Nolan Batman series. He was like Jason Daggett, I think was his name. Super actor, just really great kind of slimeball character. And I thought he was great in the movie. She was good. I mean, I don't know if we really needed a Captain Marvel movie. I guess we did to kind of explain who this badass is that just totally nuked Thanos' ship and gave him the headbutt from hell. And I get it, but I don't think the movie really told a compelling story that the MCU needed to have. With that being said, would there be a sequel? I don't know. I would probably go see it. I'm not gonna go see it at 7:00 on the night before it opens, but I'll see it just because I like superhero movies. But
yeah, I saw it too. I liked it. I felt it felt kind of out of place to me though. Like we see this other side of Nick Fury. He's more cute and cuddly and obsessed with the cat. The cat was funny. I thought that was awesome, especially when it opens its mouth.
It's not a cat. It's a Flurkin.
Yeah, Flurkin or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was hilarious, and whatnot. So I like the comic relief. I felt like at the end of the movie, she's gotten her powers, she's gotten control of her powers, she knows how to use her powers and everything else, and she leaves, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then we see her come back in Endgames. Spoiler alert for those of you still haven't seen it. And she saves Tony Stark. And talks to everybody, and then that's kind of really it. And then she shows up again at the end of the movie, and I was just like, "That's it." We had this hype for Captain Marvel, the most powerful superhero in one of the most powerful in the Marvel universe, and that was it. And then she drills down on Thanos a little bit, and that was it. I was like, "Oh, this is." I don't know. I didn't want to have the Captain Marvel 3-hour special, but I just felt very disappointed and let down in that. I do agree with you on Ben Mendelsohn. I liked him. I thought he was really cool. I liked him as in Rogue One. I thought that was who he played.
And also he's in Ready Player One. He played.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He just I don't know. He plays a great jerk character.
He plays a good villainish type character, but I did like him as the Skrulls. I was gonna say Skrees. Skrulls in the movie. I'm really curious just because there's this whole. Okay, we've got the trailer for Far From Home. They're introducing the multiverse. I'm curious somebody points out who's a Spencer saying you only get 15 minutes of screen time throughout the entire movie. It's just very kind of
if that much.
I know, it's just very all this hype and then that was it. So
I don't know.
But she's also one of those characters too. You couldn't probably put her on the screen too much because it would just, she would just, it'd be like Thor and some of the other movies. He's just picking up and just waylaying on everybody around, which gets old. So I get why she is the way she is, and she's out trying to help the rest of the universe. So I get it. But I'm curious with Far From Home, is Mysterio from a different dimension? I know they're showing him to kind of be a good guy and whatnot, but he's really the bad guy, and he's manipulating Fury and Spider-Man, or is it really a different twist here?
I don't know.
What are the Kree or the Skrulls gonna play? Because supposedly I got to go back and look at the end game. Mendelssohn's in the background at the high school with Peter Parker.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I saw that.
So does that mean the Skrulls are gonna play a bigger part on Earth? We're introducing multiverse, which is great because now Marvel, with the acquisition of Fox and everything else, can play this X-Men and Deadpool, and they can all coexist. And it kind of the hardcore fanboys were like, well, technically, they can't do all that. Well, no, they can because they can say it's a multiverse. Shut up, move on. That's why they keep killing. That's why Jean Grey's come back twice now. And we have 2 different Phoenixes. Can't wait for Dark Phoenix. I'm very excited for that movie.
Are you? I'm not.
I've always kind of had a place for the X-Men. I grew up watching the cartoon series. That was my big introduction to comics, really, right there. So I'm excited about it. Is it going to be great? Probably not. It's going to probably be up there with the Age of Apocalypse movie, which is a total letdown. But I hold out hopes. They have a great cast. I like McAvoy as Xavier. I like the guy playing Beast. I know the guy that plays Cyclops is the dude from Ready Player One. Sophie Turner plays Jean Grey. I think she's perfect. There's some odd castings, but for the most part, I haven't. The cast seems to line up. I really feel like it's more the directors and the scripts that let you down.
Yeah, I mean, I like that the McAvoy era first class X-Men style. I really like Days of Future Past. I liked all of them, I would say. I just, I think that Marvel's going to kill them. I think Marvel's going to just reboot the X-Men, the whole series.
Probably.
So this is kind of like an anticlimactic movie that is just going to be the end of a run. I think. I may be wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you could be right. I'm waiting to see what happens. I think that Fahey and them, they've got the big mega dry erase board that they have Endgame on one side, and they've got the next phase of 10 years of movies probably on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's what are we going to put where, and how does it fit in, and why, and how do we justify it? And so that'll be interesting to see. I'm very curious how the Spider-Man thing is going to pan out because Sony owns Spider-Man.
Right.
Still. But this is our second movie. He's been in the Avengers now he's been in Civil War, Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, and now he's had his next big movie. What does that mean? How are they going to play that off? I would love for them to introduce Venom. I think, and
I don't mind it. I just don't know if they want to do that Tom Hardy Venom.
Well, I like Tom Hardy. I don't know if he plays right. I could see Tom Hardy maybe playing Wolverine, maybe or something. I don't know.
Well, it depends on the symbiotic suit. I mean, how they going to address that? Is it I'm of the era that Peter Parker got in the Secret Wars, and so are they going to do a Secret Wars movie, which I would love? That would be, in my geekdom, fantasy. That would be the next big team up is the Secret Wars. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Spencer made a comment, and I'm still about Mysterio with the villain idea. I mean, are we really in a multiverse? Could Mysterio just be playing everybody? I mean,
exactly.
the way
question.
I understand the characters, it seems like he may not, this multiverse may not actually be a thing. He could be just manipulating everybody because he's like
a special effects guy.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, my final thought is if the comic book industry wants to really do things against toxic masculinity, I think they have to take some ownership in the universe or the industry being where it is.
Yeah.
They've drawn these stories, they've written these stories, and kids have been reading them for years, and it's all about the masculine, and But my fear is the pendulum swing is going to go the far other way, and then you're going to see nothing but female, superhero lines. Captain America is going to be a female. Batman's going to be Batgirl, Supergirl, Wonder Girl, you name it. And it's just going to be gratuitous and not really wholehearted. I mean, I like strong female leads, and we've had strong female characters. Let's showcase them. I mean, let's look at Wonder Woman. Let's look at Scarlet Witch. Let's look at.
They've already got some great characters developed.
I mean, they have, and
I think for me the biggest thing is if you want to talk, address it from however you want to have like strong female leads that kids can look up to and think, oh, I can be that. There's a lot of those characters already out there. You've got, Scarlet Witch and whatnot. But, I also look at other movies. I saw John Wick 3 recently. Great movie. I thought Halle Berry did a great job in that movie holding her own. She has these 2 dogs that are freaking awesome in it and stuff, and she gives them crazy German commands or whatever else, and which I think is awesome. I'd love to have dogs that I could train that could be super cute and cuddly, and then I give them some weird Russian or German command or whatever. I just say a certain word, and it's like they become in kill mode. Especially for my kids, that would be awesome. Y'all go for a walk and just say this if somebody scares you. That would be cool. But she's a really strong female lead in that movie. She's a mother in that movie, and but she took her kid from herself, and spoiler alert, to keep her safe.
Time out. It's too close.
So
the movie hasn't been out a week. Let's not jump spoilers right now. No, it hasn't.
Has.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
It came out last Friday.
No, it came out Friday before that, I thought.
I
don't know. I might be wrong. Anyway, great movie. I think there's other movies like that out there that you can target with that don't have to have this huge agenda behind them and stuff. If you want to address the issue, address it outside of the movie. But, you make the actors that are in the movie playing the characters be a good example to go off of. So, anyway.
Sure. Okay.
What do you want to go to next? You want to talk about some of the video game stuff? You want to dive into the Star Wars a little bit since we are the Nerf herders?
Yeah, let's have a little Star Wars conversation.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with what's trending. Make Solo 2 happen. Hashtag make Solo 2 happen. At one point it was, let me see where it was.
Yeah, Hashtag Show had a thing about it because they said some recent events speculation for a Solo sequel on Disney Plus. So
I saw that. Come on, where do you?
Ron Howard agreed to, got some support behind it. Well, let me ask you this. Let's just talk about Solo itself. What did you think of the movie?
I liked it. There were some parts I didn't like. I mean, I loved all the heist scenes. My problems were trivial. I think, the lady Proxima or whatever her name is, the big slug lady that runs the crime syndicate on Corellia. I didn't care for that scene. And then I've really just kind of been turned off by a lot of the Star Wars music acts for some odd reason. I mean, I loved Finger and Dan and the Mos Eisley Band from like OG Star Wars, but after that, I don't know. Like when Lucas did the 20th anniversary or whatever the special edition,
the crazy party scene with the band and stuff. Yeah.
I didn't care for that. I didn't care for the singing scene in Last Jedi, and I didn't care for the singing scene in this movie. You take those 2 scenes out, I enjoyed the movie. As far as the character, I mean, I think they did a good job. Hey, to explain why his last name was Solo. I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't know if he needed that or not, but wasn't horrible. I think a great introduction to Lando. I don't know if it really tells the story of Han and Lando's relationship to where they they have their stare down on Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. I mean, if somebody came and stole your ship and cheated you out of a game you tried to cheat them out of, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, yo, pirate, give me a hug here." I mean, it's like, oh, all debts are forgiven. I mean, but anyway.
I think there should have been some more. I would love for them to. I think there's an opportunity for them to make a Solo series. You'd have to almost do it animated because I don't think you can get Emilia Clarke and some of these people to commit to a live action. Like Donald Glover, maybe. I don't know. He did do Community, so. But yeah. I think that I like the movie, but I also was kind of just left wanting something different. I thought the Kessel Run was cool, but not that exciting. I honestly, out of everything to me, I thought the most interesting thing that I enjoyed was L3 and it becoming the navigation computer for the Falcon.
Yeah.
But like it's never really ever mentioned anywhere in the other movies. Like it's not like he goes, like Lando never makes a shout out to it in the other movies. Empire, Jedi, and Han never once makes a reference to it.
No.
And to me, I'm like, okay, that's cool, and that's a very unique thing. Like, it gives the Falcon almost its own soul and spirit. Why was that not thought of in the other movies back then, or was this an afterthought they thought of now? Which is fine, but that kind of annoyed me a little bit. I didn't know.
Yeah, and that's the problem with doing timepiece movies. I mean, you can easily destroy the continuity somewhere upstream. Yeah. But I love the movie as far as a Star Wars film. It's grown on me the more I've watched it. I've been binging it on Netflix because I'm afraid Netflix is going to pull it off for the Disney service, which maybe at that point I might watch it or not. But I don't know if a series would be. I don't want to see this in a series. I don't think, because I don't know how much content you can wrap around it. I would like to see a movie about it.
I don't know. I think you could do it would just depend upon like what it is. You could call it the solo Star Wars story or something, and it'd be a TV series, and it could be, more of the gap between he just got the Falcon and before Episode 3, what's going on there with him, and him and Chewie could go on different adventures, and you could have stuff with him and what's his face. I mean, you could tie in Kira and Darth Maul, which I thought was a really cool plug at the end. Like, that kind of, to me, left it open. Like, there's something else there. It almost felt like they intentionally referenced that so they could tie in somewhere other way if they ever wanted to. If the movie's a big success, let's make a continuation of the Solo series.
Oh yeah, I think that was
it
the
didn't
plan.
do that great, I don't think, at the box office.
Following the footsteps of Last Jedi. I mean, this came out after Last Jedi, or was it before?
This came out. When did this come out? Let me look it up here. 2018, May of 2018. Jedi came out what? Let's see here. Power of IMDb. Last Jedi came out in 2017, so it came out post Jedi.
So, I mean, there was a lot of people when this movie came out that were left wanting, something different and something back to the roots, and didn't get it then either. So, there's a lot of bad taste in people's mouth after Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I would recommend you go back and rewatch it. It's not that bad.
No, I know, but I mean, here's why I don't think you're going to see another movie ever. Budget was $300 million, and the gross in the USA was $200 million.
Well, they had to reshoot the damn movie.
Yeah, I know, and then the worldwide gross is $392. So really, it didn't make it. It's probably considered a flop.
I mean, I would like to know how bad the original showrunners movie was that they basically redid it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, because those guys, it was the two guys, but they did didn't they do the Flash series on CW and some of the other Miller and Go? Isn't that who they were?
Well, Ron Howard directed it. John Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan.
He wasn't the original director. They replaced, the directors.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, who was it? Well, what did you think of the movie? I'm looking this up.
I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was my kids are kind of into the Star Wars movies right now, so I like it because of the fact they'll want to watch it and it gives some more backstory to the characters. Plus, I have a rule: anytime there's a Star Wars movie out, you have to rewatch all the Star Wars movies before we go see it. So it's my way of making sure I get to watch all the movies again. So I enjoy anytime they add to that collection, if you will. It doesn't fit into the story. I feel like in the story timeline necessarily. Like Rogue One fits. It has a spot and it makes sense. I was disappointed though with Rogue One a little bit because there was the Star Wars PC game, and I think it got ported to PS1 and stuff back in the day, but it was called Star Wars Dark Forces. And you play as a rebel spy, and you're stealing the Death Star plans, and it's the story of how the Death Star plans got from, where they were to Leia, and then the movie starts, and so I was like, oh man, that's really cool, and so it deviates from that, and so it's kind of like, well, whatever. But I do like it, I enjoyed it, but it's not in the scheme of things. It's probably it's in the very bottom for me as far as favorites.
Yeah. Here's the article. So, an actor who worked on Solo Star Wars revealed to Vulture, because Vulture's a magazine or something, drama behind the scenes that led to the original directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller being fired. So, the directors seemed unsure of what they were doing on set, would demand 30 takes or more per scene. Ron Howard took over the film once Lord and Miller were fired, and the source said he was much faster and basically reshot everything Lord and Miller did. So, yeah. See if there's anything. I mean, these guys did the Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, and they're out of their element. They would even have like an associate director take over. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Ron Howard came in, took over. I mean, obviously, I don't know if he rewrote anything, but he did some reshoots. No, it says right here, it's exactly the same script. Hold on. Source confirmed that reports that Howard reshot the majority of the movie. It seems the director didn't add a lot of new material. According to the source, Howard redid most of the scenes. It's exactly the same script. The source said they're filming exactly the same things. There's nothing new. Lord Miller used whole sets, but Ron was just using parts from these sets. I guess they're not shooting wide angle, maybe to save money. So he didn't rewrite anything. He just basically took over a bad film once they fired the guys. But yeah, I would love to see it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, right? So, I mean, anything you could do to maintain that, and kind of the whole purpose of this podcast is talk Star Wars. So I would be down for it. I think a movie would be more appropriate. I think they could do the introduction between Han and Jabba the Hutt, maybe even do something with Lando to, bring back that relationship.
And folks, we're having a technical difficulty. Give me 1 second here. Back up. All right, sorry about that, y'all.
Okay. I didn't know Brandon was on. Have you been on the whole time, Brandon?
No, Brandon forgot the invite, and just figured Jason didn't want him to show up. Then he Skyped me, so I got on.
Oh, okay. Anyway, are we still live?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, Spencer brought up a good question just right now, talking about Rise of Skywalker. Do you think the Emperor is somehow alive?
Yeah.
I think so. I think there was a post about it on Facebook because they did this in the TV series where it was like a time portal or something, and they try to bring him back, and they stopped him.
I don't think it's.
I don't think he's alive. But I mean, then at the same time, we thought Darth Maul was dead, and they brought him back with robot legs, so he could be very well alive, just hanging out on the Death Star, on the remains of the Death Star. I guess I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
I think he's alive. There's a Dark Horse comic book series where he survived. I know it's non-canon in today's time frame, but I think he's alive. Either that or he's a Force ghost.
Yeah.
Which I would be cool with.
I'm going with what they're going to steal from Heir to the Empire, and he's alive. The Emperor's got a bunch of clones of him, and maybe even got a clone of Skywalker.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah, that. Is that a story, or is that a book, or is that a series?
That's a series by
Timothy Zahn.
Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire.
But they really changed that in the canon with the cloning army. Yeah, I remember the stories and where he went and met, was it Joris Kabath or whatever, but he was a clone.
Yeah.
And I remember that story, but it seemed like it was different cloning technologies. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that route, but I think Palpatine. I think either he's the ghost of Palpatine's, Force ghost or something like that. I don't know, but I'm excited that he's back.
I'm excited either way. I think Abrams is going to do a good job with it. We've had our hashing of Last Jedi, and it's nonsense, but I'm excited.
They're running out of lead characters to bring back.
True.
Well, that too. Chewie's officially gone. Leia's officially gone. R2's officially gone. Who else?
Chewbacca.
Grand Moff Tarkin, he's gone.
Well, he died a long time ago. Yeah. He died shortly after Star Wars.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I'm very, very interested in that. I want to talk about next real quick. Knights of the Old Republic. Brandon, I know you've played the video games. I never got into it. I've tried. I don't know. Maybe I just missed my time on it. But Carter, you mentioned it to me that there's a script out there somewhere, supposedly in the works for Knights of the Old Republic movie.
Yep. I'm horrible at names, but her name is Laisha Calagridis.
Laeta Calagridis.
Laeta Calagridis is writing a screenplay for the next trilogy based in the Star Wars and Knights of the Republic time frame. So, she wrote movies like Avatar, Shutter Island. She wrote the screenplay for Terminator Genesis. I don't know if you hold that against her or not. Screenplay for Alita Battle Angel.
That was a good one.
Birds of Prey, Pathfinder. I mean, so she's done a lot. I'd be okay with it. I definitely think that we're past the Skywalker era of the Star Wars universe. We need to go into new territory, and so this would be definitely right up there. I don't know.
As long as they don't green screen the death out of it, like episodes 1, 2, and 3 were done.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played this game in 15 years, so my memory is a little shoddy on.
So I've never played the game. Tell me about this game. I know it takes place pre-episode 1 even, because when I played it for 5 minutes, it's like the Jedi that I'm playing as has a sword, not a lightsaber, but a sword. So what is the time frame, the story, and how do you get what's the deal with this? Y'all tell me and educate me.
Brandon, you remember much about it?
It takes place in Old Republic times long before anything else, when the Jedi Order was standing Jedi Order. There were lots of Jedi around. I'm thinking of the right one, because there's a couple of them. What happens is we end up with a apprentice who comes back, and you play through as his apprentice Jedi, and then at the end of the game, it's not really a spoiler, the game's like 15 years old here, you find out that you're actually a fully trained Jedi, but you've had your memory wiped because you ended up turning to the dark side because y'all found one of the original Sith people, and they actually turned them again to a Sith. The Jedi found you, turned you back to a Jedi, but somehow you lost your memory. They wiped your memory. I forget what craziness they pulled on that one, but it was something like that where that's the story.
And I remember the game is a lot. It's like what's that horrible game that
Force Unleashed?
BioWare had? No.
I like the Force Unleashed.
The BioWare games
Anthem?
that were written. No, God, no. It's up there. Oh, shoot.
Is it a Star Wars game?
Mass Effect. It plays a lot like Mass Effect, where you run around and you
your choices determine your outcomes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can make friends to join your squad, and you roll around with Wookiees that swing lightsabers or androids. I mean, and you got to go visit planets and solve puzzles, and the Ferengi stole my sheep, and you got to go get
it
back.
Ferengi from Star Trek?
Yes, I know. Whatever.
Concept, not the actual words.
Sacrilege.
Right. Sorry. What's Greedo, whatever his species is. Nemoidian. The Nemoidians stole my sheep, so go get it back. So yeah, your decision's based on the outcome. And then they introduced Darth Bane. Isn't he the big bad in that?
Well, Darth Revan is one of them. I see him showing
or
up.
Revan. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's Revan.
Revan. You played as Revan. That's what it was.
Okay.
You played
Okay.
Huh.
you were actually Darth Revan, and that's how it came full circle, so to speak.
Interesting. I'll have to probably pick this one up again and play it for the PC. I might
Yeah,
have,
I mean,
I might have to renew my Origin subscription.
I'm sure you can pick it up there. So, yeah, here's the story of Knights of the Republic takes place almost 4,000 years before the formation of the Galactic Empire.
Okay.
Where Darth Malak, a Dark Lord of the Sith, has unleashed Sith Armada against the Republic. The player character as a Jedi must venture different planets in the galaxy in order to defeat Malak. So that's the quick and dirty about it. But anyway, that'd be kind of cool. Definitely a new trilogy. I know that's one of the areas everyone talked about them doing was the Knights of the Old Republic, which would
well,
be.
I know
right?
our buddies over at Game of Thrones, David and Dan, are trying to are responsible for the next trilogy. So
yeah, I mean, but if she's just writing the screenplays, they might be directing it, which, given what everybody's opinions of Game of Thrones and what we talked about last week, I don't give a damn what people think, and petitions to rewrite crap and all that. You just go on with yourself. So I'm excited.
yeah, I am too. I'm very hopeful. There's a lot of great stuff out there, so we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Do you guys see Kit Harington had to check himself into rehab?
Yeah, I saw that.
Too much partying or stress from the end of Game of Thrones, I guess.
Well, did y'all watch the end of the? Oh, we got an echo somewhere. Did y'all watch the was it the end of the watch special they did for Game of Thrones that came out Sunday? Have y'all watched that? Really,
yes.
Really good, really cool. They follow around like the producers. They follow around an extra who's been in it since I think season 3 or season 1 or something, and he's super cool as well. And they go to it's like the very end of the special, but they do it it's a wrap thing. And Kit Harington's there, and you can see he's emotionally shook from it. And I've seen a lot of the interviews. A lot of them are like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. Emilia Clarke's have said like I've kind of identified myself as this character for the past almost 8-9 years. So I think there's this probably one of those things too. It's like they're having this crisis of okay, what's next for me? Who am I? Am I this character? Am I not? So I could see that kind of messing with them in a way. But and then of course if you've got other stress, anxiety, and then you have all the blowback from everybody being a jerk about the series, you need to take that stuff to heart. I could see that causing somebody, because he went in for like stress and
alcohol.
some other stuff, alcohol and some other stuff too. But it was more of a mental check too, along with the alcohol piece of it. But I hate that for the guy, but
yeah,
it's not surprising when you see some of it.
I mean, I know he did voice work in, was it the Dragon movies, How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the second one, the third one.
I know Gerard Butler did. That's about it.
Yeah, like in the second one, he kind of led the kind of goofball dragon hunter guy. Then he was in that horrible Pompeii reenactment with Kiefer Sutherland, where Kiefer Sutherland tried to talk with a British accent for about 30 minutes and then quickly changed.
Then he was also in one of the Silent Hill movies too, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
I think so. That was a terrible movie too. First one was kind of weird, dark and messed up, but the second one was awful.
Yeah.
Let me look and see.
But anyway, no, that'd be cool. All more Star Wars. All the more Star Wars, the better in my book. So.
Yeah. Also, the more the better. I would say Terminators are good to have more of the better. What do y'all think of y'all seen the new trailer?
Yes, and I'm curious how. Schwarzenegger, I love the guy, man. The guy's been awesome forever. But can Terminator's age? Is he human? What is he?
Well, remember, he's human flesh over a robotic exoskeleton.
Okay, so that's good points. I guess the skin ages, because he looked young in the last Terminator that he was in, but now Sarah Connor's back. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, is it Linda Hamilton?
Linda Hamilton.
Yep. So we've got a new Defender too. I really think what's interesting is it was at Genesis, I think, was the reboot is supposed to be, because it changed the timeline up or somewhere in there, or one of the movies did, because it doesn't seem like they're after Sarah Connor anymore. They're after this new character, Danny Ramos. And so I guess that's the new John Connor or whatever else it looks like. And so it may have created a time vortex or it's kind of the fate thing. It's like Judgment Day is going to happen regardless if we stop to save John Connor or not. I think that was the whole premise is that she's aware of this still, and she's trying to go out after and stop it from happening. And it's a T-800. It's not a T-1000 apparently, is what the new Terminator is.
But it looks like the T-1000 kind of liquid metal, but it also has a skeletal frame to it.
Yeah, it's like what was the one in Terminator Rise of the Machines? You know, where it had Nick Stahl in it and that chick, what was her name? Oh, Christiana Loken. She was TX. That was her model. I don't know what that's. TX. I guess T1. I don't know. What is X in Roman numeral? 10.
T10.
Yeah. So, but she had the liquid metal and also the exoskeleton frame. So.
Okay.
I don't know. I was very excited about it. Anytime you've got, rocket launchers and mega shotguns that like Terry Crews would handle from what was that? The Expendables.
Oh yeah, the AA-12.
You'll remember this at Christmas. That those to me are always going to be great. I mean, you can't. It's an action movie.
Yeah.
So I have zero expectations. It's like John Wick. I know there's going to be a lot of shooting in it. It's going to be a lot of craziness, but it's going to be awesome. I don't care. Yeah,
no, I'm with you. I mean, I watched the preview one time. Need to go back and unpack it, watch it again. But Terminator's always a good one. Cameron's back involved with it too, isn't he?
I don't know.
I thought he was.
Let me see here. Power of the internet search.
Right.
James Cameron's a writer. The story's by him. Yeah. Charles, it's 7 other people, and then Tim Miller's directing it.
Okay.
Which I don't know anything about directors, so he did Deadpool. Okay, it'll be good. He did Thor: Dark World. I don't know. That's not looking good now.
Dark World, that movie.
Oh, it's awful. It's probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen of the Avengers. Dark World was not good. But anyway.
One other quick thing. When we're talking about characters and actors that have created a character, did you guys see Harrison Ford basically made a comment that, once he dies, Indiana Jones dies with him? Because I guess there was a rumor that Chris Pratt was going to reboot. They're going to reboot Indiana Jones with Chris Pratt. And Harrison Ford tweeted, and he actually called out Chris Pine instead of Chris Pratt. So Harrison Ford showing his dementia, but he basically says, "Listen, I'm Indiana Jones, and when I die, Indiana Jones dies with me." So yeah. That's awesome. I mean, you don't have to continually just reboot characters. Go create a new direction.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if nothing else, maybe you could be a kid or something. You call it something else, or I don't know. I mean, you could retire. I think there is some validity and recognition to just, what, we're done with Indiana Jones. Let's create something else. I mean, he kind of is Indiana Jones, but just for the Jurassic World series now. He's taken that off entirely. Yeah. Like let him go be that guy. He's Emmett from Lego Movie. Let him be that guy. That's fine too. But I mean, I do like Chris Pratt as an actor. He doesn't have anything. He's never done anything I've disliked, I don't think. So I'm okay with that. I think he's pretty versatile from what he's done so far.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So. What else do you want to talk about? Are we done?
Well,
I know you had video game stuff.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left. I want to, talk about some video game stuff I thought was interesting. Brandon, you might like this too, and I'll throw it over in the Discord or Skype chat for you. There's been a rumor mill going around for a while about an Avengers video game, but the project is headed up by Square Enix, which, if you're not familiar with them, they did a lot of the original Tomb Raider stuff. Square did all the Final Fantasy games. They did Deus Ex. So they've got a great track record of games. They did Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, a lot of RPG stuff. And so I'm curious where this game fits in with that and what is it going to be. Because it's been rumored around for a while, and supposedly there's a hype or speculation that it'll be at E3 in June. What are y'all's thoughts? I know there's been a lot of different video games around Marvel characters. There's the Avengers Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There's a Spider-Man game that's on PlayStation. There's been tons of games around it. What are y'all's thoughts on them doing something like this? Do you think it's going to be a flop? Do you think it's going to be too much, or what do you think?
I remember the old, like, Super Nintendo had an Avengers game.
Oh, yeah, with Captain America, Hawkeye. Who was it? Who else
Yeah.
was
Wasn't Vision on there?
Vision was on there. Wasn't Wolverine? Yeah.
No, there was an
X-Men.
X-Men.
That was the
there was an X-Men game, too.
Yeah.
If it's anything like that, I'm down with it.
No, it's not going to be like that. Square Enix doesn't do that kind of stuff. It'll be some type of either FPS or third-person RPG or something like that. Which, to me, I don't want to. I don't want it to be like build your own Avenger, and we're going to be like, what is it, Elder Scrolls, and do that kind of game. That's been done a bunch already. You can play those. What is it, DC Online, where you build your own superhero out, that kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm.
Well,
looking for.
There's an article on PowerUpGaming.com that says the Avengers Project is Square Enix's destiny. So, well, it says maybe enough details have been uncovered for us to make some assumptions. Simply put, the Avengers Project is Square Enix's destiny. Ubisoft's already seen phenomenal success with Division, and EA is betting on Anthem. This article came out in April of last year, so it didn't realize that Anthem was a steaming pile.
Dude, it's so bad.
It made sense to similar projects in the works. We know it will be a third-person cover-based action-adventure game that will feature shared world gameplay and focus on social aspects. In addition to previous job listings, the project sought a lead-level designer to develop fun and unique online experiences.
Why is it going to be kind of like Destiny?
Shared world games like Destiny and Division have to have a strong focus on each of the elements together. I think it's going to be an open world PvP, PE style game, I'm guessing. The Avengers Project is a shared world game like Destiny. You also need to ensure, perhaps not when it comes to gameplay, especially not Destiny 2, but to be successful. So that's basically all they're saying. I just think I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just depends. I mean, are we? Yeah, like you said, is this a build your own Avengers style game? Or are you going to play as the characters?
Well, I mean, there's an Avengers cartoon movie. I brought it up, I think, on the last podcast, which I gotta up. By the way, if you listen to our podcast, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded the episodes. I'm doing that tonight. So you're gonna have like 6 episodes to catch up on. But that movie was really cool because it was like the character that played Captain America was supposed to be kind of quote unquote Captain America was the child of Black Widow and Steve Rogers, and then Thor had a child and she wielded a sword and stuff. So it would be kind of cool too if it's like, okay, you start out and you have to build your character and it's like, okay, you're the offshoot of 2 or 3 characters, who would they be? And then it randomizes your stats and you kind of chart out to build your powers like you do in Destiny or something, because they introduced, you had Hulk smash with the Titan, then they had the hammer, and then they added the Captain America kind of shield. So it's like, it's kind of been done already.
Yeah.
So I think that could be promising. You would have to, go pretty big scale and figure out some different, enemies. Like, you start out small and it's like, okay, it's gonna be Red Skull, then Doctor Doom, then we'll go to Thanos, then we go to Galactus. That would be kind of, I mean, they have enough resources there to build a story arc off of if they don't bomb it. But who knows? I don't know. I'm always hopeful for something like that. BioWare's gone completely dark on Anthem now, they're saying. So I think
probably because everyone got fired or quit.
I mean, it's so frustrating how something that bad happened. So, and they had the chance to make it an awesome game. So.
Yeah. Well, I think, anytime you try to go out and not be your own game, but try to be the death nail of somebody else's game is never a recipe for success.
Agreed.
That's a true story.
Just make a game based on what you're good at and be done with it. So.
Yeah, Spencer brings a good point. It could be about the last 2 movies or something like that, or like the next Avengers, which, you could do that. So.
Yeah.
Spencer wanted to ask us real quick, what our thoughts are on the next big villain. Who do we think it'll be?
Galactus.
It depends. If we're leaving the planet Earth, then yes, it's Galactus. If we're staying on planet Earth, my theory is it's Doctor Doom.
Ooh.
Well, I think we'll see both. I think Doom is going to be like
there's room for both.
Phase bad guy, like Loki kind of was introduced as what we thought was the bad guy for the first Avengers movie, but then we see Thanos at the end. I think we'll see Doom in the beginning, and around the end of the next Avengers film, we'll see it teased Galactus.
Yeah.
And then a second arc might cover some stuff with the Silver Surfer and the Guardians, and then the last arc, then we'll get again the giant, big bad fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious what Doctor Strange is a guardian of now, since outside of the Earth realm, because the stone's gone for him.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. Remember, it got destroyed. Or no, they sent it back in time to where it was originally.
Yeah, you got his stone back.
No, because they didn't fix the timeline where they killed Thanos. In the current timeline.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right, Doc. Let's draw out the Sharpie lines. It's gonna be so confusing.
No, Hulk went back and put the time stone back where it was. He showed the stream. So, otherwise the Sorcerer Supreme wouldn't let him have it.
But I gotta draw it out because this time stone got destroyed. They went back in time and got it. Used the time stone.
Right.
Thanos came forward, killed Thanos. They went back in time and put the time stone back. So yes, he has the time stone.
Thanos is
Thanks a lot for asking this question.
Sorry. No, guys. That Thanos is that Black Line offshoot story. Thanos in their universe, in Prime Universe, Thanos is dead after he killed everybody because they brought everyone back to present, not 5 years ago. They didn't rewind that portion of time. So the Thanos that came forward in time, he's one of those offshoots that occurs because they monkeyed with time first.
Yeah. But let me ask you this.
They're on that black timeline until they bring everything back around.
So oh yeah, okay, that's right. He snaps again to destroy the stones too. So I was going to say, why did the stones get destroyed when Tony snapped? But that's because Thanos did a second snap to destroy the stones. Okay. All right, yeah, they're still there. Oof. That's confusing. All right.
So yeah, Spencer, Thanos snaps. Yes. So yes, we know all that. Yeah, I think Doctor Doom, and I think you could introduce him in several movies. I think you could introduce him in Doctor Strange. I think you could introduce him into a Fantastic Four if they're going to do a Fantastic Four. I don't think we're going to see a Cap and Iron Man. It doesn't make sense in the Spider-Verse. But I think yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Brian. I think for the mid-major, I think Doom, but then I think Galactus for the big bad. I could see that. So
yeah,
and I mean I've been dying for a good Doctor Doom. They've totally screwed it.
You mean the Jessica Alba Doctor Doom you didn't like, and then drummer Michael B. Jordan Doctor Doom you didn't like either?
No, I didn't like either one of those Doctor Dooms. They were horrible. What's wrong with making Victor Von Doom, scarred and his face is all brutal? That's why he wears the mask. And
what is so hard about making a true villain in the Marvel movies? Thanos came as close as ever, but like you got to think Ultron. he was villainous, but he was klutzy. That's
I mean, well, that's the problem with the Marvel movies is
they have a villain problem.
They have a villain problem. There's too many superheroes and not enough villains. Their villains are normal people who have a bone to pick with a superhero, so they create some sort of alternate identity to thwart this person. Whereas Marvel, there's the yin and yang, or in DC, there's a yin and the yang to all their characters. Every strong has an equally strong villain.
Yeah.
Marvel doesn't have that.
Well, even that's kind of boring too. It's like they got an equal, then so how do they win, right? So I always liked in the Superman. Lex Luthor was always very menacing, and he was an average person, but he uses his brain and his wits and his power to try to overthrow Superman all the time, and he got close many times.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, what kills me is like, okay, you didn't think to when the Kryptonites there to have a dude off to the side with a 45 and pull the trigger real quick. That would have ended all this, dummy. But whatever. So, yeah, I get good always has to win, but man, that's why I loved Empire. Empire Strikes Back. Evil won. It's real.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Infinity War's evil won.
Yeah.
Temporarily. That's also why I liked Infinity War.
But you go back and look at
it's all Chris Pratt's fault why that happened, though.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one scenario that Doctor Strange saw, so it makes sense.
Word.
That's it, boys. I've nothing else to say.
Yeah, we're hitting the hour mark. We try to keep it at an hour. So, Spencer, thanks for joining us. Appreciate the engagement. We'll be back next week on Tuesday at 9:30. Who knows what we'll talk about? We'll figure that out throughout the week. Feel free to comment, post any suggestions to us. Yeah, that's all I got. Carter, Brandon, y'all got anything?
No, sir.
No, I don't. Yeah, Spencer, if you have any ideas, go ahead and throw something in our Facebook, man. Give us some topics, something to talk about. I think we should get back into the Star Wars review. I know we did episode 1. We've been meaning to go back and revisit those. So what do you say we try to watch episode 2 by next week and have a discussion?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. And then, anyone going to see Godzilla this weekend?
I want to go see Gojira, but I don't have a time to. I don't think.
Actually, I was going to try to see it on Tuesday. The theaters here have like a $5 movie night on Tuesdays.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, be on the lookout for me on Netflix eventually, maybe. My wife.
You personally?
Yeah, me and my wife. So for my birthday gift, my wife got tickets to the Netflix screening or recording of Elijah Schlesinger that's happening in Nashville this Friday. So I will be at that. Maybe I'll get on camera and be Netflix famous. Who knows? Never know. Somebody might see me in the crowd and go, "Hey, we need that guy for some Netflix special."
Right.
In a padded cell.
Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah, any good Netflix shows out there worth watching? I'm enjoying Chernobyl on HBO, but it's only 5 episodes.
Yeah, I actually started watching Deadwood now. So
yeah, I thought about getting back into that, getting ready for the movie because that comes out the 31st.
I've never watched it, know nothing about it. So yeah, it comes out the 31st. There's no way I'll be able to catch up unless I just don't sleep. But
Deadwood totally wrecked my image of the Wild West when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I thought the Wild West was Roy Rogers singing to his horse with, sequin shirts and, pearl snap buttons and all this stuff. And man, that show, every other word coming out of Ian McShane's mouth was just a assault on the human on the English language. It just totally wrecked my image of the Wild West. I was in culture shock when that show first came out.
I hear stuff about Black Mirror, the OA, the Haunting of Hill House or whatever. There's the 13 Reasons Why if you really want to get depressed. We watched
really good.
The 13 Reasons Why I watched the first season of it, and oh my gosh, it's just off. Like,
when does Swamp Thing come out on the DC service?
Pretty
that might
soon.
Be one worth watching.
Yes. Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Spencer brought that one up. Stranger Things good.
Yeah, but when's the third season starts?
July 4th.
In July.
Yeah. About a couple months away. So, yeah. I think that's about it.
Oh, I know what I'm watching. I just remembered. On Amazon, or not Amazon, Hulu, The First
Oh yeah, that's actually
with
pretty
Sean
cool.
Penn.
That's
That was a
interesting.
good show.
There's a I was listening to This Week in Tech, and there's a lady that gets on there all the time. I forget what her title is, but she that show is cool because she looks at the data around trends and how we're using technology and how we see technology likely to get adopted based off of medical issues and whatnot. And she pointed out that if you notice in the show, everybody wears glasses and has an earpiece in. And she says, you will see eventually over time that's what we're going to get to. We'll have glasses because we stare at our phones so much close to our faces, we're going to be nearsighted and we'll have to have glasses. And so the screens of our phones will be integrated into the glasses we wear or on a watch wearable, and we'll have an earbud we wear to talk to people and communicate through. Which we have AirPods already and we have the Apple Watch, so it's like she's pretty spot on.
No, she's far off because you don't see people staring at Facebook and Twitter, and doing Instagram, social media on those devices. They're just used for communication, which is awesome.
So, well, there's some truth, but how she is on This Week in Tech, and it was actually you read her she explains how the data and stuff, and it's actually very intelligent and informed. So I'm curious to see. I hope the day goes away when everybody stops Instagramming every 30 seconds of their life, but, I won't hold my breath.
Yeah,
People have to know what I'm eating, Jason.
No, we don't. It's okay.
I mean, that's where all the good memes come from, is from Facebook now, so.
True.
All right, guys. I think now we're just talking for the sake of talking. Let's wrap this show up. We appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. You guys are why we do this show. Spencer, appreciate you hanging out. Sean, with the buddy, such joined in. I don't know if you're still on the podcast or not. Sean's an old Navy buddy of mine. I've known Sean a long time. Share the last name, but not related, although he is my brother. Good luck, trying to figure that one out. No, we appreciate everyone, stopping by tonight and interacting with us. We think this makes the show go a lot better. So we'd love to have you guys come around more often. Spencer, feel free to stop by any Tuesday, 9:30 Central. What is that, 10:30 Eastern? I don't know where you live. We're just gonna go 9:30 Central. If you want to come hang out. A couple weeks ago we did have our friend Ray back on the show, and Ray has started his Critic After the Credits show. He ran one last week. So, if you guys are bored on a Wednesday night, I highly recommend you go and check out Ray and support him, give him a little love. You find him on Twitter or on Facebook at Critic After the Credits. Or as he likes to say, Critic After the Credit. I'm not sure if he means an S or not. Picking on you, Ray. Love you, buddy. But anyway, that's it, guys. In the immortal words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Force be with you always.